Hello, everyone, and welcome back to In Focus with Clough Photography, the podcast where we explore the art, emotion, and storytelling behind wedding photography and what it really takes to capture a day with intention and heart. I'm your host, Ken Clough, wedding photographer, filmmaker, and someone who has spent years documenting love stories across upstate New York and beyond. Today, we're diving into a topic that couples planning a 2026 or 2027 wedding are already searching for. What are the major wedding photography trends shaping the next year? Every season brings new ideas, new aesthetics, and new ways couples want their day to be photographed. But what's different about 2026 is that many of the trends we're seeing aren't superficial or gimmicky. They're rooted in emotion, personality, and meaning. Couples are looking for imagery that feels genuine and expressive, not staged, predictable, or overly traditional. So, in this episode, we're walking through the biggest photography trends for 2026 based on insights from Zola, Wedding Wire, Pinterest, The Knot, The Wed, Studio Gale, and other respected wedding editorial sources. We'll look at what's evolving, why it matters, and how couples can use these trends to plan a photography experience that feels connected to who they are. So, let's jump in. Why trends matter, and why they shouldn't overwhelm you. When couples begin planning their wedding, trends can feel both helpful and overwhelming. You see lists, inspiration boards, and articles everywhere, some promising you the must-have shot list for 2026, and others showcasing entirely new styles. So here's the truth. Trends matter because they reflect what today's couples value, but they should never dictate your day. Over the last several years, wedding photography has shifted away from rigid structure and towards something more honest, emotive, and story-driven. The trends for 2026 continue that direction in powerful ways. More personality, more movement, more storytelling, more intentional artistry, more emotional authenticity. And that's why exploring trends is useful. They give you the language to describe the kind of photography you want. They help you articulate what inspires you. They help you find a photographer who fits your vision. They are never rules, they are possibilities. So as we walk through the 2026 trends, think of them as tools. Tools to help you imagine the style of photography that feels like you. Cinematic wedding photography takes the lead. The first and most significant trend shaping the 2026 season is cinematic wedding photography. More than ever, couples want images that feel dramatic, expressive, atmospheric, emotionally layered, and intentionally composed. Publications like The Web describe this trend as immersive editorial style storytelling, photography that looks like it could live within a film still or a magazine spread. Cinematic photography emphasizes sweeping wide shots, beautiful shadows and contrast, directional lighting, subtle motion, clean compositions, moments that feel like scenes, not poses. Think of imagery that feels like a quiet moment from a movie, a bride walking through a hallway with soft light behind her, a couple framed against a landscape, or a close moment between two people who have forgotten the camera is there. Cinematic photography is not about drama for the sake of drama. It's about emotion. It's about creating a visual narrative that feels intentional and expressive. And this trend continues to grow because couples are increasingly drawn to photography that feels timeless and artistic, rather than formulaic. Documentary storytelling moves to the forefront. While cinematic imagery is rising, another major trend is rising right behind it: documentary-style wedding photography. Many couples no longer want long, stiffly posed portrait sessions. According to Wedding Wire, couples value candid, unscripted imagery more than ever. Documentary storytelling focuses on real emotions, organic interactions, in-between moments, unexpected laughter, meaningful relationships, natural movement, and scenes unfolding without interference. It's not about capturing what the wedding looked like. It's about capturing what the day felt like. Some of the most cherished images often come from the moments couples never noticed. A parent's expression during the vows, friends fixing bow ties before the ceremony, someone wiping away a quiet tear, a newlywed couple taking their first breath after the recessional, the joyful chaos of the dance floor. This style creates galleries filled with memories that feel real, personal, and emotionally rich. For 2026, this trend is not only growing, it's becoming central to modern wedding photography. Editorial-inspired portraits gain momentum. Alongside documentary storytelling, couples are also embracing the opposite side of the spectrum, editorial-style wedding portraits. Platforms like Pinterest and Zola show a significant increase in searches for editorial bridal portraits, fashion-inspired wedding photography, and magazine-style posing. This trend is all about clean lines, confidence, minimalism, and intentional posing, the kind of imagery you might see in a bridal fashion campaign. Editorial portraits are elegant, modern, refined, expressive, and stylish without being stiff. They create beautiful contrast to candid documentary imagery. Couples love having both. Portraits that feel elevated and artistic, moments that feel natural and lived in. And that balance, pairing candid emotion with polished editorial imagery, is becoming a defining hallmark of 2026 wedding photography. Creative lighting, motion, and mood take hold. The Knott's 2026 Trend Report highlights the rising popularity of creative lighting and mood-driven effects. Couples want images that feel artistic and bold, imagery with personality and texture. These creative techniques include silhouettes at sunset, bold shadows, direct flash for a fashion-forward feel, intentional blur to show movement, backlighting to create glow and drama, reflections in windows, mirrors, and water, and environmental lighting like candles and string lights. Creative lighting can transform everyday moments into expressive storytelling, and this trend opens the door for photographers to experiment, to play with motion, shape, and light in ways that make each gallery unique. It's not about gimmicks, it's about feeling. Light and motion allow a wedding story to carry mood, from romantic to energetic, from peaceful to celebratory, from intimate to cinematic. This trend is perfect for couples who want their gallery to have depth, contrast, and artistry. Personal and cultural storytelling becomes essential. One of the most meaningful trends emerging for 2026, highlighted by Studio Gale and 37 Frames, is a shift toward weddings rooted in cultural and personal identity. Couples want portrait photography that honors tradition, heritage, rituals, generational stories, symbols that carry meaning, family connections, shared value, and personal history. This trend is less about aesthetics and more about connection. It recognizes that weddings are not just events. They are chapters in a family story, chapters in a cultural narrative, and chapters in the lives of two people who bring their histories together. Photographers are being asked to document cultural ceremonies, traditional clothing, symbolic objects, family moments intertwined with heritage, and rituals passed down through generations. And these images often become the most meaningful ones in the entire gallery. In 2026, couples want photography that feels not only beautiful, but true. True to who they are, who they love, and where they came from. The rise of weekend-long wedding coverage. Another trend continuing into 2026 is extended wedding coverage. Weddings are no longer confined to one day. More couples are planning welcome gatherings, rehearsal dinners, after parties, day after brunches, adventure sessions, and entire wedding weekends. Zola and Wedding Wire both report that couples value storytelling across multiple days. not just during the ceremony and reception. This trend acknowledges something important. Some of the most meaningful interactions happen outside the wedding day itself. The laughter at the rehearsal dinner table, kids playing on the grass the morning after, old friends reuniting after years apart, the quiet appreciation shared the night before, or parents giving toasts in more intimate moments. Photography that spans the weekend captures the full arc of the story. The build-up, the celebration, and the aftermath. Couples love this because it creates a richer, more complete narrative. Printed heirlooms make a powerful return. Finally, a trend that brings photography full circle. Printed heirlooms are making a major comeback. According to reports from The Knot and Zola, more couples are choosing luxury wedding albums, fine art prints, framed portraits, wall-mounted galleries, and archival keepsakes. After years of digital galleries dominating the industry, there's a renewed approach for printed artwork that couples can touch, hold, display, and pass down. This trend reflects a desire for permanence, something that lives beyond the screen and becomes part of the home. And many couples now list albums as one of their most emotionally meaningful parts of their photography experience. Thank you for joining me for this deep dive into the major wedding photography trends shaping the 2026 season. Whether you're a couple planning your wedding, a creative looking for inspiration, or someone who simply loves understanding how photography evolves, I hope this episode gave you clarity and ideas to explore. If you're planning a 2026 or 2027 wedding and want a photographer whose style aligns naturally with these trends, blending cinematic imagery, documentary storytelling, editorial portraiture, and meaningful connection, I'd love to talk with you. You can find more details or schedule a consultation at kencloughphotography.com. I'm Ken Clough, and this has been In Focus with Ken Clough Photography, where we look beyond the lens to tell the stories that matter.